I want to be the proof for somebody else who's going through a similar situation that you can do absolutely anything.
A Central Kentucky teenager who lost both her mother and father in car crashes has a message for the community. A police chase in Lexington ended in a crash tonight, what investigators say led to the wild scene.
Friends of a Lexington murder victim have unveiled a special tribute for him online. How they say he should be remembered.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
And good evening. Within the last hour, Lexington police have announced they have arrested someone for a murder that happened 5 months ago.
Police say they caught 21-year-old Javon McGee earlier tonight with the help of U.S. Marshals. They obtained an arrest warrant for him the day after the murder. On December 18th, Lexington police say McGee shot Joseph Parker outside an apartment complex on Augusta Court. Police have not said what led to that shooting. She survived a crash that claimed her mother's life, and she lost her father in another crash. But tonight, a 13-year-old Central Kentucky teenager says the support of the community and music are helping her get through these devastating losses.
Investigators in Clark County say that Tina Rapley died Monday in a crash while taking her daughter Lara to school tonight. Lara says she has a message she wants others to hear about. Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
Lara's life changed Monday on her way to school.
Our thoughts are obviously with her and with her family this morning.
She broke her wrist in the crash that took her mom's life.
You know, the first thing that was going through my head was, well, I'm an orphan now.
The cast on her arm, an unwelcome reminder of the emotional wounds that now run much deeper.
Just the thought that there's a purpose for the pain is what's really helping me persevere.
Lara's godmother and grandmother launched a GoFundMe to raise money for Lara and her family. They've already gotten nearly $4,000. It's a sign of the support Lara has gotten in the past few days, even on Twitter from Christian musicians she looks up to.
It's a reason to keep going. It's like, I'm not alone in this. There's thousands of people praying for me, encouraging me through this, and I don't have to do this alone.
So don't let this world take a lie behind your eyes.
Lara's a musician herself. It's something she says she clings to in these tough times.
The pain that's deep inside.
Something she hopes can help others in theirs.
I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be alive, that God has a plan for me, and He has a purpose for me bigger than anything that I can see.
In Montgomery County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A brave young lady there. In addition to the GoFundMe, there's also a scholarship fund that has been set up for Lara. It's at First Traditional Bank in Mount Sterling.
Tonight, a police chase in Lexington ended with a crash and 3 people being taken to the hospital. State police say they stopped 21-year-old Anthony Dixon's car at a safety checkpoint on Bryan Station Road. They say they were going to cite him for a minor traffic offense, but instead, police say Dixon took off, so police chased after him. But just down the road, they say Dixon lost control and flipped the car. Police say he and 2 other people in the car were taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Dixon now faces many charges, including wanton endangerment and fleeing and evading. Friends say he was creative, kind, and passionate about his art, but a Lexington man's life came to a tragic end. Police say he was stabbed to death while delivering pizzas. So far, police have not made any arrests for 22-year-old Salahuddinjitmoud's murder, and his friends want to make sure he is not forgotten. As Monique Blair tells us new at 11, they've created a new online tribute for him.
Hi, I'm Salahuddinjitmoud. I'm 5'3" and I'm representing stage right acting.
One of the things I really want people to know about Salahuddin is that, you know, we hear in the stories on the news and the newspaper about how it's a pizza delivery guy that was murdered tragically. However, he was so much more than a pizza delivery guy. You know, that was his job. That wasn't his passion.
Stage right acting is where 22-year-old Salahuddinjitmoud spent a lot of his time doing what he loves.
So, what is it I can do for you?
One of Salahuddin's many passions was to act.
And when you can hear his voice and you can see him looking at other people, that's just a whole different way of seeing somebody. It lifts him off the page.
And that's why Miles Meehan, owner of Stage Right Acting and friend of Salahuddin, put together this tribute video. to hope you can get a feel for the type of person Salahuddin was.
Who he was a kind, compassionate, quiet, unassuming young man that had this fire inside of him to be an actor.
Yep. I'll see you around. Right. Yes.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
To watch the full online tribute to Jitmoud, just go to our website, WKYT.com. Police are still asking the public for tips in the murder investigation.
You probably noticed if you've been outside lately, it's going to be a chilly night. Much of Kentucky could drop below freezing by tomorrow morning. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has more on how low those temperatures will fall. Chris?
Yeah, a lot of thermometers tomorrow morning, guys. Upper 20s and low 30s throughout central and eastern Kentucky. You get in those deeper valleys, that's where the cold air tends to settle in. We're going to be a lot colder than your neighbors that are a little higher in elevation. Here's a look at what to expect first thing tomorrow morning for where you live. Most areas will have clear skies. You get near the waterways, a little fog may crank up. But again, anywhere from 28 to 32 degrees. A few spots may come in a little above that, but you get the overall theme. It's a frosty, cold night and the potential for a light freeze. Freeze warning continues in effect for all of central and eastern Kentucky during this time. Current temperatures already deep into the 40s now. Mount Sterling and Danville, we're leading the cold weather charge down to 43 degrees already. Some of these spots this morning did, in fact, go below freezing. You'll do it a little better or a little colder early tomorrow morning. Live First Alert Defender late on your Thursday evening. Not a whole lot to talk about. That will change up, though, as we go into our weekend. I'm tracking a potent storm system toward the Bluegrass State. That'll bring the potential for strong and severe thunderstorms and some very heavy rain. So the focus of the forecast, guys, when I come back will be on your Saturday and the potential for severe storms and heavy rain. A brand new hour-by-hour forecast with the latest data coming your way in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. The Lexington Fire Department has issued an outdoor burn ban until Saturday. Firefighters say that dry conditions and gusty winds can create dangerous conditions for fires. Firefighters say all open burn permits will be suspended as long as that ban is in place. They plan to lift the ban at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. It's the question that a lot of people have been asking. Why was presidential candidate and Senator Rand Paul's son only cited for DUI and not arrested?
Lexington police charged William Paul after they say his car hit a parked car Sunday. They say he had to be taken to a hospital for injuries to his face, so that's why he was not arrested. Police say that's standard procedure and Paul did not receive preferential treatment. State law allows law enforcement agencies discretion on DUI arrest policies. Kentucky State Police are not involved in this case, but they say if they stop you for DUI, you'll likely go to jail.
The decision whether or not to arrest somebody for driving under the influence would be, it would only be if the jail could not or would not be able to handle that person.
William Paul faces an aggravated DUI charge because he refused a breathalyzer test. He could lose his driver's license until the case is resolved.
Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fire that killed a Floyd County woman. The fire began about 3 this afternoon at a home on Highway 2030 in the Little Mud Creek area. The coroner says a woman in her mid-60s was found dead inside the home. Her name has not yet been released. Investigators say her body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy.
A convicted burglar out on parole is now back in jail facing new charges in Laurel County. Police say a constable spotted James Lopez peeking into homes in Laurel County yesterday. They say Lopez then led them on a chase before being arrested. And police say he had a stolen TV and tools in his car. In 2013, police say Lopez broke into homes in 4 counties. He was convicted and received an 8-year sentence, but he received parole after just 14 months. Prosecutors say it's frustrating.
It says that, yeah, we have a problem with our system. I mean, we have 22,000 people in prison, and you have the legislators are pushing corrections to get people out of jail as fast as they can.
Lopez faces 10 new charges in Laurel County, including wanton endangerment and fleeing or evading police.
An Eastern Kentucky Police Department is stepping up its efforts to derail the so-called POP train. A WKYT investigation highlighted the growing problem last year. People on food stamps or SNAP benefits use them to buy cartloads of soda before selling to stores for cash. And that amounts to welfare fraud. The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services used our video on WKYT to help win federal grant money to battle the fraud problem. Hazard Police received some of that money, and we rode along with detectives as they looked for people making money off the pop train.
You know, this comes out of our tax money. It's not right. It's not fair. When people take it, you know, they go inside here and purchase whatever they want and then resell it with the intent to defraud the government. That's not right.
The Cabinet for Health and Family Services says it's distributed the grant money by evaluating the type of support needed to protect operations and what was possible in each area. Tonight, dozens of Kentucky students are back home after a school trip turned frightening.
50 Oldham County middle school students, along with 5 adults, were returning from Washington, D.C. this morning when their tour bus caught fire on Interstate 70 near Pittsburgh. Everyone on the bus made it off safely, and another bus brought them home to Oldham County this afternoon. The students say they're just glad no one was injured.
It felt like a normal bus evacuation because I didn't really turn around. I just thought we were going to like bus evacuation. But then, like, once we're like out a little bit, I turn around, I see the bus, back of it's engulfed in flames.
One of the Oldham County teachers who was on that bus that caught fire this morning is actually a survivor of the deadly Carroll County bus crash in 1988.
Hundreds of people filling the streets of Baltimore again tonight, demanding answers for the death of a man in police custody. Some of the protesters briefly stopped traffic and scuffled with police. Police say at least 2 people were arrested tonight. It's the 4th day of protests since the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray, who investigators say died of a severe spinal injury. Police say they didn't know or don't know what caused that injury.
Tonight, Bluebell announced it is closing all 3 of its creameries for intensive cleaning. This comes in response to listeria illnesses linked to Bluebell ice cream. Bluebell says employees at the creameries will also undergo training. The company expects the creameries to be closed at least a week. Bluebell recalled all of its products Monday.
Tonight, hundreds of people gathering in downtown Lexington to help fight Alzheimer's and other memory-related diseases. The annual Sanders Brown Dinner was held at the Lexington Center. It raises money for the UK's Sanders Brown Center on Aging. The center focuses on researching age-related memory disorders and how to treat them. UK women's basketball coach Matthew Mitchell was one of the speakers tonight. He's been helping raise money for Alzheimer's research since his close friend, former Tennessee women's coach Pat Summitt, was diagnosed with early-onset dementia.
Whenever you have someone that important in your life that is suffering from an age-related concern and a disease like Alzheimer's, it just makes you very motivated to try to make a difference.
UK President Dr. Eli Capilouto and Alltech founder Pierce Lyons also spoke at tonight's dinner.
Some people in Lexington will wake up tomorrow morning and find an unexpected gift outside their homes. A Transylvania University art class has painted 500 birdhouses as part of a community art project. Around 5 tomorrow morning, the birdhouses will be placed on fences, porches, and trees in neighborhoods on the north and east sides of Lexington. The project is aimed at bringing people together.
Really, it's a very simple idea that if you sit down and just spend some time with someone and make art with them or converse with them or chit chat with them, a lot of your preconceived ideas about that person will be challenged.
Organizers say this program is teaching transy art students to be good neighbors and to better understand their community. Well, it's a special treat if you get one of those.
Very creative.